And now circles. Circle as center. All right, so first of all, remember that equation for circle is on the formula sheet. This is not something that you'll ever have to memorize. But we do have x minus h squared plus y minus r squared. All right. Where hk is the center of the circle, r squared, or r is obviously the radius. So I need hk, I need the center, which bingo bango we got, and I need a radius. So a couple different ways to do this problem. We can use that distance formula to find the radius. We can also, going back to what we talked about with finding b when we're looking for an equation, we can substitute that point 6, 14 in and solve for the r. It all depends on what you're most comfortable with. You end up doing about the same kind of math. I'm going to use distance formula since that's something that we just talked about. And we're going to do square root of, and the distance here, 6 to 14 is 8 squared plus 6 squared. All these numbers are beautiful. We've got 64 plus 36, square root of 100. Now the trick here is since I'm using r squared, I don't actually ask what the radius is. I don't care what the radius is in this problem. I don't need to take square root of 100 because I just need to square it for that answer. So that r squared is going to end up being 100. Yes, that's an easy number, but that's something to keep in mind if you end up with like square root of 41. Don't try and worry about that. Just say, hey, r squared is going to be 41. And now let's write the rest of the equation. We've got x minus 0, which is just x squared, plus, and we always want to write it clean. We don't want the minus 0 there. We want it to just be x squared because x minus 0 is x. And then we've got y minus 6 squared equals 100. And here we go. We're given the equation. We're asked for the center, the radius, and the graph. All right. Center, we've got 2 and 4. Want to make sure that we are thinking about it the right way because it says minus 2. That center is at positive 2. It's what creates 0 in that in those parentheses. We got negative 4. Same reasoning. Our radius is 2. Don't forget to do the square root of 4 to get that 2. We go over here to the graph. The center, I'll use the same color, over 2, down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then that radius of 2, so I can go up 2, I can go right 2, down 2, left 2. And then I just kind of do the best job I can. If I'm using a compass, that's great. But if we're just kind of drawing it, then we just kind of draw it the best we can. And we end up with that circle.